Honestly, I felt proud, honored, excited. Primarily, not solely because I'm on it, but primarily just to see um, there are platforms that still care about things that artists are doing. I know, like as an artist, sometimes it's hard to even like get a connection with like a fan. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes sometimes media outlets don't understand the power that they have in persuasion to basically bring the city in influence to something. So it's like you could put out something good, you could put out something negative. A lot of people might ride with it. So if y'all telling people like this, who y'all should support, yeah, this is who y'all should support. That is like very powerful to me. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Nah, but when I got the news, it was like real exciting for me. It was like I felt like a sense of accomplishment because, like, again, I've been seeing the list for a couple years now. And I always wanted to get on the list, and I'm just like, all right, I ain't making this shit, Just keep going, making music. It's just letting me know, like, what I'm doing is kind of paying off now. So.
No, I agree with all you two guys. I feel like it was very surprising to me because it was a new outlet, so it's something I haven't seen before. And when I seen it, I was like, oh my gosh, I was telling everybody to vote for me just based off of just the people that, vote and see what happens. I call my supporters, my citizens of Planet J, and then it worked. I was just like, wow, I was just really surprised and really grateful that people are paying attention, looking, and supporting to what I've been doing and working towards.
It felt great. It felt great. Like everybody pretty much saying, everybody. I've been seeing the list for years, and it felt great to finally get, no, what's the word I'm looking for? Notoriety. Yeah. See, I was about to say notarized. Notoriety. I got some notoriety for my art, man. That felt good. That felt good. And I celebrated my other folks that was on here too. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating our people, man. You know what I'm saying? If you made that list and we know each other, I'm your reflection. We up here. You know what I'm saying?
How was it? Because you mentioned like people, what's the word? Like giving you support, right? But then obviously y'all peers are looking at this list. Some of them did not make it. What was that conversation like for y'all? Like having that conversation with I know it's competitive. Like obviously, music in general, the music business, it's competitive, right? So what was that conversation like with some of y'all friends who didn't make the list?
I didn't really have too many conversations with people who didn't make the list. I probably had more conversations with people who are part of like my creative team. You know what I'm saying? Because they like, damn, like this is really falling in the line. Because it's like, you got an album you about to put out. You've been doing a lot of things as far as like you went on tour to South Africa. You got some other things that haven't been said to the public yet that'll come out like around the same time as the album within the fall. So it just felt like the timing and place was damn near like, bro, you better be on go mode. You know what I'm saying? And I think like also the reaction from everybody within that workspace with me is like that pressure to finish these records, you know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of times as a rapper, you could just make a bunch of rap songs, but it's like now we need statement pieces within this music. And it's just like, this is a statement, now musically make a statement. So yeah.
I always try to say, I'll start off by hoping that my space is used to inspire other people. So hopefully they'll take it as something that motivates them to do something similar, even if it's in like the same, artistic format. But I would say, I always try to tell people like, it's not, what's meant for you is meant for you, and pretty much what's destined to be is gonna happen for you regardless. So it's not necessarily ever really a competition to me or with other people just feeling like something happened to them and it didn't happen for this person, more so in the sense of what's meant to happen for you and you shouldn't kind of, feel like this didn't because it's not for you at that moment. It's just not the right time.
And they all still great too. Yeah.
Same as him, I didn't really have too many people who didn't make the list. Even like past lists, like I know people who made past lists, and I was in that place where I didn't make the list, and all I can say is like you just take that as motivation, and it's always like just keep it as fuel to keep going, and just give yourself something to work for to see next year. Like also what she said, like maybe it's not the timing, like develop yourself more as an artist. So it's like because when you get that type of spotlight, you want to be ready to go. In a sense, you want to be ready.
When you think about, Chicago artists and, a lot of the times we talk about talent over clout, what are some of the things that you feel like the Chicago artists are missing, and how are you guys filling that void?
That's a tough one. You want to answer that?
Yeah. I think the main thing I think Chicago artists are missing is probably like everything that has nothing to do with music. Cause sometimes, and I think like that's what I've been learning, I think with me. So like I'll notice how sometimes I can keep a consistent fan base, a consistent ride, a consistent momentum, and not drop music. But then like my presence of being outside, of doing things on the internet, being influential in other ways, like even like being in the community, whether I post it or not, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is like more important, because like if you look at like artists in the industry, if you took away their music, you would still love what they represent, what they stand for, what they passionate about, you know what I'm saying? Even people who don't make music, you may watch a certain cook over another one, you may, you know what I'm saying, follow this content creator over that. But I think that goes deep into people's minds. Like, why would I connect to you? That's why it's room for everybody, because it's like, show why you should show up for your audience, you know what I'm saying?
Essentially what my brother said, man, you know, artist development. Artist development is the key to accomplish what we trying to accomplish. Like, you know, it's like how they be saying, you know, working out is 80% what you eat, 20% working out and stuff. It's no different from the music. Like, we create music, we could do that, it's easy. But it's like, are you able to market yourself and be like a marketable piece of art? Like, real talk, because at the end of the day, it's art. We selling our art at the end of the day. So it's like, are you able to become a valuable artist, meaning that you got return on income investments? Are you able to do that? Things of this nature, you know, that's gonna help with the artistry. That's it. We just missing artist development, a lot of people. And I feel like I'm filling the void now with the team I got around me, my manager, my creative director, and shit. My vision pushing is the foundation for everything, you know, so yeah.
Now you mentioned touching the community. How do you feel like the community has reacted to your music as artists? How, yeah, the community you come from or the community you serve. You were talking about serving the community.
This is a perfect question for me. No, you stop playing, because they know, they gave me they notarized me for my community work and shit. So shout out to What's the Word for that. But like the community, what I learned is like, you know, you got your music industry community and you got real community. It's a difference. You know, you gonna have your music industry friends, but when you touching the actual people, going to where the people at, doing these performances at a church, doing these performances at these open mics, but building your core audience, it's like, it's essentially gonna help the community tap in with who you are. Like, I do a lot of community work, like tons of it, but like kind of what Cassius says, like when you actually go to the community and just do work in the community, meaning like, you know, giving out food, etc., doing sermons. Like, even before I got here, I just did a sermon before I got here. Like, we really touching the people. So now when they hear the music, they hear the message in the music, they're like, damn, now it's touching hearts, you grabbing hearts. So the community reacting crazy to the music in a great way.
I think with me being like a multifaceted artist, it's allowed me to be within multiple communities. So whether it's like a music community, me being like a design community, me being into fashion, that community, me modeling, that's a community. And I think also like me being a person who went to college, you know what I'm saying? That's another community. So every community reacts differently. So like if we speaking on college, like I know like I could go to a lot of colleges and just speak and not necessarily have to rap. And it could be about anything, or it could be like not even college, it could be a high school, it could be a grammar school, you know what I'm saying? Things that I've done. Modeling, that's another form of community. It's like, I think that people look comfortable, confident in everything on camera, but somebody seeing me doing multiple things, that may inspire them in that community to be like, damn, instead of me modeling, let me try to see if I can also become a photographer, and vice versa. Photographer may be like, damn, let me be a model just off of the strength of what I've done. So I think like any community that I'm a part of, people are always looking at me to be like, man, like that inspired me to want to try more than just keeping it in my mind, you know what I'm saying? And being like, people wouldn't want to see me do this, but you'll never know until you do it.
What advice would y'all give to up-and-coming Chicago artists?
The first piece of advice I give to up-and-coming Chicago artists is don't feel like you too big to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because like you need to touch as many areas that you are invited to go to, or somebody's like asking you to like pull up to, in the sense of like a support. It could be like, yo, I seen this thing, you should try to pull up, because you never know who you'll meet at those events, right? So like open mics, for example, you know what I'm saying? That pretty much started the build of my fan base. And some open mics will be in different areas, you know what I'm saying? And I think like that's important. I think the other thing that I would say that's probably more important than going everywhere and I feel like you're too big to do something is support other artists in their communities. Like, bro got a show, I'm gonna hit him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what time you get on, who out the band, that's important, you know what I'm saying? Pulling up to like a cook session. Even if you don't get on the beat, just say you was there. That shit is very, very important. That's a part of like people seeing your face, knowing your name. Just don't be so self-centered for real.
I would say something that was big for me in the beginning was like the fear of doing anything in regards to like your art, because you never really know how other people are going to react to it, or you just feel like, I don't know, maybe you made something, you made a beat, you like, man, this probably trash, and like you put it out there, somebody might actually like it, or regardless, people want to see your growth. So I would say you don't have to wait until something is super like at the top level of what you feel like it should be to put something out. Like, your fan base wants to see you being able to grow and see where you came from and to where you're going to end up going, because that's kind of how you create your audience in a sense as well. And I would say just one more thing is to really just hone in on the things that happen to you that, I don't know how to explain it. I would say, how do you explain it? I don't know, just kind of like being humble in a sense and taking, I don't know, it's like on the top of my head. Not transparency, I don't know. I'll just pass it on. If I think about it, I'll come back.
Great answer regardless.
My advice would be is just, you gotta just like leap out there and just take the chance. You gotta kind of almost in a sense, like, I don't wanna say do everything on your own, but be able to, just in case. Like, you wanna go take the extra mile. If you sing, take vocal lessons. If you know what I'm saying, if you having a hard time finding beats, start making your own beats. It's being able to perfect your craft and self-produce everything on your own. Like I said, it may not be needed, but just knowing you have an idea of how you want your story to go, you just gotta stay with that. Just be confident in who you is, like really be the artist. You gotta really turn into this person that you trying to sell us.
Okay, really appreciate like all the small things that happen to you, because it'll be like a lot of times where you just kind of want to give up because everything is so hard. So that's another thing too. I would say, like, make sure you ask things, and don't be afraid to like ask people how to do anything or like how to get something, I don't know, because you really can't do everything on your own. And I just feel like it takes like a community, like we were talking about, of really like helping you get yourself out there and just like growing as an artist and as an individual as well. But yeah, there'll be a lot of times as well that you just kind of like, I'm kind of tired of this, I don't know where it's gonna go, like I'm sick of it. I feel like it's not just getting where we need it to be. But I would feel like when you appreciate like the small wins and kind of just remember like where you used to be and how far you came, I feel like that's what's really important to me, because I remember like, I just tell myself like a year ago, okay, like where was I at? What did I have? Like, I've accomplished so many things. And when small things happen, you get those small wins, you'll be able to appreciate them more when larger things come.
You talked about like community and like having that support system. Do you feel like Chicago offers enough spaces for our upcoming artists, and what are some ways that we can improve on that?
I feel like making it a little more exclusive and less inclusive is a way to just like improving on it, because I do feel like when I was starting out, maybe in a sense a little while ago, like it's kind of, I don't know, you're trying to figure out how to get in those spaces, and I feel like there could be more transparency or like different ways to just kind of help people, or different workshops of figuring out how to get in those spaces.
A way that I would tackle that is like a lot of artists have more power to create their own spaces, and I think like that kind of start from one, having an idea, having a vision. Vision is like key in everything, you know what I'm saying? Having a desire to do something at any moment, and understanding that like just because everybody is in this space and this is looking like the popping space, it's like if you can get a team, you can get a budget, or you can build a relationship with somebody that may not need a budget from you, you can essentially have your idea of what you want to cater to Chicago in that space, and you can create your own world. So I say take that leap of faith and do that.
It come down to like networking. To get in these spaces, it's just like, you gotta really think like 3 moves ahead. Like, you gotta one gesture and think of, okay, the outcome of this is gonna lead to this, and it's gonna lead to this. And you just gotta just like stay on path. Like, if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. It's gonna happen. Like, if you doing it the honest, just way, you really determined on what you want, the stuff gonna come to you all the time. You put so much energy into things, it's gonna come to you.
What does Black music mean to you?
Man, Black music is everything to me. And I say that in the most freest way possible. I say black music is music with no confinement, and I say that in the most free-spirited way possible. Like my music is my story, my music is my foundation, and essentially, black music is all our stories put in one. Black music is also music that hit the spirit in the most positive way possible. Like I said, music is the most powerful vibration on earth. Sounds. That's what move us, especially black folks, melanated people. So we all come together off of music. Music make everybody come together. I don't care what side of town you from. We all can like this one song, but music is basically black. That's what Black Music Month is to me, and it's my birthday month.
I feel like black music is like a lifestyle in a sense. Like it's so much that come with it. Just even if you look around the world today, like everything you see is kind of shaped off like black music and the culture and whatnot.
The origins of a lot of music come from where?
I think black music is like a space of like inclusivity for us, cause it's like a lot of times in the world, I be thinking in my mind like, damn, like if the world went to shit, like as a black man, where could I go? And I don't really be finding a lot of places, you know what I'm saying? It's always like I gotta deal with this culture's ways or whatever. And I think like somehow when something happens with black music, that feel like the safest space that we can have. Even if other people are participating, there's always something that you will never understand or be a part of. Even like the Drake and Kendrick beef. Like when I was watching a lot of like white TikTokers break down the lyrics and what they meant, the things that meant the most that we know probably like hit the hardest was the stuff about, you know what I'm saying, the things within the black community, which they couldn't tackle on, you know what I'm saying? And that for us as a community elevated a lot of the music higher than it could ever be. So whether it's a negative light, spiritual light, positive light, black music has its own community that like, it's just innate in us that we feel connected to always.
No, yeah, like it's the originator for real, I would say. And I feel like everyone pretty much knows that already. But I don't know, there's just so much unity, and I feel like even people that don't like, that aren't derived from it, they still feel like connection in a sense. So I just feel like it brings so much connection to just like all different types of people, backgrounds, even though people might not be black or they might identify, you never really know. I just feel like it's, I don't know, like the foundation to everything. And it's like the soul, because it is.